10 things kids in the UK no longer experience. Growing up in the UK used to be a wonderfully odd mix of freedom, fun, and a few things that made absolutely no sense. But we loved every minute. From scrambling for coins when the ice cream van jingle echoed down the road to carefully crafting the perfect mixtape. Childhood was a wild, unplugged adventure. In this nostalgic journey through 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, we're bringing back memories of school dinners, penny sweets, and Saturday morning cartoons. It's a time capsule of everything we didn't know we'd miss. 10. Talking on the house phone and hoping no one picked up upstairs. Before smartphones, the house phone was a lifeline and a battlefield. You'd call a friend and hope their mum didn't answer, or worse, their dad. If your sibling picked up the extension upstairs, the cringe level skyrocketed. The phone had a cord that stretched from the kitchen into the hallway, and privacy meant whispering with your back to the wall. There was no caller ID, no blocking numbers, and definitely no deleting messages. It was clumsy, awkward, and brilliant. It forced conversation and courage in equal measure. Now kids send emojis and voice notes with ease. But that rite of passage, navigating conversations on a landline with a household listening in, is long gone. One of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, and maybe one of the ones that built the most character. 9. Watching the TV test card and it actually going off. There was a time when the TV didn't work all night. Channels closed shop with a national anthem, and if you tuned in too early, you'd see the BBC test card, a little girl, a clown, and an eerie hum that felt like being stranded in another dimension. You couldn't just flip to another show. There weren't many channels. You waited, patiently. And when the cartoons finally began, it felt like Christmas morning. Today's kids have endless access to content day and night. They'll never understand the anticipation, the thrill of seeing your favourite programme come to life after a long wait. The UK TV test card nostalgia is a powerful memory for many Brits, marking one of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience that taught us patience, wonder, and bedtime discipline. 8. Doing a paper round before school. In rain, fog, or sleet, you'd climb on your bike at dawn and start your paper round. You'd learn which dogs barked, which gates squeaked, and who tipped at Christmas. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a first job, and it made you feel grown up. Before school, you'd deliver dozens of papers, hoping none ripped or flew off in the wind. It wasn't about money alone. It was about independence, responsibility, and bragging rights. Now, with digital news and fewer local papers, the traditional paperboy or girl has all but vanished. One of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, the UK paper round memories, are proof that real life used to start before 7 a.m. 7. Making mixtapes or burning CDs for friends. Giving someone a mixtape wasn't just a nice gesture, it was a full-on love letter. Whether it was for a mate or a crush, every track was chosen with care. You waited by the radio for songs, hit record, and prayed the DJ didn't talk over the intro. Later, you'd burn CDs on your family PC, draw on the cover, and proudly hand it over like treasure. It was musical storytelling at its finest. Now, it's all about Spotify links and YouTube playlists. Fast and easy, but missing the soul. This is one of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, and those who remember it still hum along when a mixtape classic comes on. 6. The ice cream van bell causing chaos. The second you heard that familiar ice cream van jingle, you panicked, because you knew you had seconds to find coins before they disappeared. You turned into an athlete, checking coat pockets, sofa cushions, and pleading with your parents. Then, pure joy, a 99 flake with raspberry sauce, maybe a screwball, maybe both. You compared cones with your friends like they were gold trophies. Today, the ice cream van still exists, but it's rarer. Freezers and snack drawers have taken over the magic of hearing that tune out of nowhere. This rush, this chaos, is one of the sweetest of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, and one we'd queue for all over again. 5. School dinners served on plastic trays. The plastic tray had compartments like a dinner-themed jigsaw. One for mystery meat, one for mash, one for custard. School dinners were hit or miss, but always memorable. Turkey Twizzlers, sponge cake with green custard, and puddings that defied physics. You swapped bits with mates or held trades for a prized Yorkshire pudding. Today's school meals are healthier, which is a win, but they've lost some of that canteen charm. The trays are different. The rules are tighter. Still, the smell, the clatter, the chaos, they linger in memory. One of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, and one that united us across the lunch queue. 4. Renting VHS tapes for a family movie night. Friday night meant picking a film from Blockbuster or your local off-licence with a shelf full of dusty VHS tapes. You browsed, debated, and always left with too many sweets. Back home, you'd pop it in, adjust the tracking, and remember to rewind or face a fine. You couldn't scroll endlessly. You had to commit. Movie night was sacred. It wasn't about convenience, it was about experience. Now streaming is instant, but it lacks the anticipation. The joy of holding a tape, pressing play, and watching with family. Gone. This is one of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience that made weekends feel like a cinema adventure. 3. Penny sweets from the corner shop. Armed with 20 pence, you'd approach the counter like a banker at a high-stakes deal. 2 cola bottles, 3 foam shrimps, 1 drumstick, and a white mouse. Every sweet was counted, placed into a crinkly paper bag, and cherished. The corner shop was a sanctuary. The choice was overwhelming. The sugar high was guaranteed. Now sweets are sold in packets. The thrill of selecting each piece is gone. The UK corner shop nostalgia lives on in memory and in tooth fillings. One of the tastiest and simplest of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience. 2. Playing out until the streetlights came on. Be home when the streetlights come on. That was the rule. No phones, no GPS, just pure, unfiltered freedom. You built dens, rode bikes, played games with made-up rules. You explored, fell over, laughed, and lived. If your friend wasn't home, you knocked for another. Parents didn't panic. You were just out. Today, it's different. Safety concerns and digital lives keep kids inside. That wild, unsupervised childhood has almost disappeared. This is one of the most bittersweet of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, and the one we probably wish we could give back most. 1. Saturday morning cartoons on terrestrial TV. No school, no alarm, just cereal and chaos. Saturday morning cartoons were legendary. You had SMTV Live, The Raccoons, Rugrats, and those dodgy ads for pogo sticks or sea monkeys. It wasn't just the shows, it was the moment. Kids across the UK watched the same thing at the same time. You couldn't pause it. If you missed it, tough. Now, kids stream on tablets in silence. No presenters, no national in-jokes, just content, on demand. This shared ritual is the crown jewel of the 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience, and one that made weekends feel truly special. These 10 things kids in the UK no longer experience shaped a generation. They taught us patience, independence, and how to find joy in simple things. The world has moved on, but those moments live on, in stories, in memories, and in the quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, they'll return. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell.